Hi everyone, welcome back to Love and Life. I am Olola today. So this is a space where we have honest conversation about life, love, and becoming better humans, and also growth. On the last episode, we spoke about self-worth and identity. So your worth isn't something people give you; it is something that you decide your own self. And to be sincere, if you were, or if you listened or watched the last episode, you were going to ask yourself a few questions after seeing that particular episode. Maturity isn't about age, it's about how long you have been able to live or how many responsibility you have. It's about taking ownership of your choice, of your decisions. That's what maturity is all about. And to me, accountability is the proof of maturity. So after recording the last episode, I asked myself two questions and I said, am I actually living like someone who knows our worth? And am I making decisions that reflect the kind of person I am? Think about it. Are you actually living like you know your worth? It's just a time for you to reflect. So, because of that, today we are going to have a very, very interesting conversation. And I'm not here to do that alone. I have someone with me, someone I respect so much, someone who demonstrates leadership in a very, very interesting way. She's a very friendly person. She's my boss. She's my boss. She's my friend. So today I have Nora on the show. Nora, welcome to
Hello.
Love and Life.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.
Thank you. So before we go deep into today's conversation,
Mhm,
I would want us to move back a bit before we talk about adulthood, career,
mhm.
and relationship. I would actually want us to go back to childhood.
Okay.
Yes, what it was like when you were growing up.
Mhm,
Because I think many of our habits started when we were young.
mhm.
Yes. So today we are going to start with childhood.
Okay.
And we know that being a child, there are so many things that we do as a child and we kind of go scot free.
Of
And
course.
of course, there are some children who take accountability for whatever they do because of probably their parents or who
Yeah.
they live with.
Mhm.
Yes. So today, I'm going to ask you your first question.
Okay.
So, growing up,
Mhm.
who showed you what responsibility looked like?
Uh, I would say my parents
Okay.
because um they didn't even have to speak to me about it. It's
Yeah.
how they modeled it.
Okay.
So I basically watched them take on responsibility. And responsibility for me is you're taking accountability without anybody asking you to.
Okay.
You're responsible for something. You've been asked to do something without even being asked to do anything. You're responsible for something, you do it without anybody even watching you.
Right.
But that's, for me, that's accountability, if we're talking about that. So my parents modeled it. They didn't have to sit me down and say, oh,
Say
I mean,
to
of course,
you.
some competitions happened in between, but I watched them, handle things, even when things were hard, things were folding, but they still took responsibility for it. I mean, they still forged ahead, you know, growing, taking care of kids, taking care of us. Um, Even, of course, when they were a bit younger,
Okay.
there's some things you remember when you're young,
Yeah.
and then you see how they carry on,
True.
even when things are hard,
True.
even when they don't have to.
True.
So I modeled that from them, and that has actually helped me grow. It's not been easy, to be honest, because taking responsibility for things is sometimes people are just lazy and like,
For
you know what,
real.
I don't take responsibility for this thing. I'm just
For
going to
real.
continue with but my parents helped me a lot, and that has helped me as well in my life. Yeah.
I think I can relate to that. That's actually very great. So their actions helped you a lot
Yes.
beyond talking about it. It was
I watched them.
more of the action because I was going to ask that was this something that you were taught with words or you just saw it? You saw it when you were growing. You just saw them take
Well,
responsibility and then you took after what they were doing.
even when they're speaking to you, it's mostly when you've done something wrong,
So
and then they sit you down and say you should do this. But most of what I learned was watching them.
oh,
So it's only when I, do something wrong and then they sit you down and give you the life lessons. But I actually modeled them by watching them.
yeah, that's amazing. Anyways, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
So as a child, when you make mistakes, were you encouraged to admit it and apologize, or did you learn to hide it?
It's a very tricky question.
Right.
Because my parents were, look, I wouldn't say they were very strict,
Okay.
but they trained us to be responsible.
Encouraged to admit it and apologize, or you just learn or hide it?
So as I said, my parents trained us responsible. So sometimes, I mean, my parents were not strict, but you cannot mess up. Right. So there are times where you hide it. Okay. But at some point, as we grew older, we had to admit and tell them, look, Mama, I did this, I did that. Sometimes you would hide it. Because when you're a kid, they're not boy and you can't do want to read. But eventually, as I got older, I had to like come out and say, no, I did this, that I did this, especially results. Right, it did not last. And then when you come back home, they already told Mopsy was on this past. When Popsy comes back, I will not enter a room and go and sleep. You know, when Popsy comes back, I've been sleeping out. Yes, of course, you'll be so sleepy. And then you now say, we now ask my mom, where's the results? I'm still the best to him. And then that stick will continue to the next evening because you don't know how to tell your bad at you know to food, whatever. What I'm just trying to say is, at some point you were hiding it because, of course, you've done the wrong thing. Yeah. And as I said, my parents didn't really sit us down to say, oh, this. It's only where we messed up. But we watched them, take responsibilities. We watched their actions. So we use that to mirror how we behave. Okay. Oh, but yeah, at some point we started, and taking accountability for our mistakes.
Okay, so you can see you were scared of your parents were very low. Like scared.
Not really. Only when we messed up, of course. You can't do something bad and think that your parents will forgive you wrong. So I was scared of my parents. It's just when we do something wrong, okay, of course, you'd be scared of their reaction, that you're going to, of course, mess up the beat you. So I was so weird of the parents. Amazing people. I never, ever got scared of them. It was just when we did something wrong.
Right. Okay. So you like tell them everything?
Yeah. Some and some not.
Well, I get that can do. So how do you think that is actually shaping you or shaping the way you do with mistakes today?
Honestly, it was a tough one, to be honest, because you know that's when you're a child, it's different. You're still living under your parents' wings. Sure. And then the moment you get into school, you're alone. Yeah, I can take advice from your parents, but from school and then your early career days is when it starts to dawn on you, and it's now a choice. You either take it or you just live it from home. That's for lack of a better word.
So you better be responsible.
Exactly.
I get that. Mm-hmm. So before we go further to more deep ones, I think I still want to ask you a question. So what's this childhood excuse that you still catch up yourself using today? Like, things like, it's actually not my fault. Nobody told me. I forgot. Or maybe something else entirely.
It's quite a couple, but I can't pick out any. Well, to be honest, I mean, there are times when I just want to be a child again. I just want to do things that are just cringy. That, like, when adults see you and be like, what's wrong with you? But I think it's probably just not caring, just doing things and not caring, because children don't care. Yeah, they don't care. I want to go to a playground and just swing. Whenever I go to a playground, I just want to swing.
Well,
and not care. I mean, that's not. I mean, adults do it, but I want to just jump on the bed with children. I want to go on the bouncing castle.
You want to be a child
again. So there are all the little things that I want to do. Like maybe just use the fact that I just excuse it. A child would do it too, but right. Can't exactly do it now. Still work.
That's you're fully grown now.
Very fully grown.
Oh, okay, fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, so was there specific moments you realized that, guy, nobody's coming to save you? My life is my responsibility. Was it time?
I think it was in my 20s when I started my career.
Oh,
okay. Service. It was. I started with when I came out finished serving. You got a job almost immediately. So then when I came back, I was going with you.
Oh, wow.
At a leader PR company. So I was a PR officer. And then I was working with Simon Clancy. I was earning 30K. I remember I was earning 40K because I couldn't tell adults. I was earning 30K. So I'm earning 40K. So I could give her half of the money. So it was crazy. I was basically managing 10,000 a month. Yeah, office was in Becky.
Transportation, ticketing.
Yes, most of my cousin's house and we asked me to go and ask her, please just give me 500 naira and I used to enter BRT. Like then, I'll stand on BRT, like the foot, like get to
Oh, standing.
Who wants to do before?
God.
You get so there was a time when I left work, because I worked on Saturdays. I left work and I was too tired. I think it was my second job. I was selling wallpaper, so I used to carry wallpaper catalogs,
Okay.
and walk around the streets of Falonmore, Banana Island, just to talk to developers. I had to put the buildings, people that are selling developers and all that, just to tell them that, okay, so you can buy wallpapers when you're building, please. It wasn't funny, but it was a defining moment because I'm like, no one's going to see me at the end of my days and all that. So one Saturday afternoon, I was so exhausted, like so exhausted. We go to TP the BRT. I think I only had like 200 naira. That's what I used to enter the bus. I slept. The bus stop with that pamphlet, but they carried me to Mount. You slept on. I slept. Oh God! Like Monday to Saturday, and I didn't have anywhere to go back home. Yeah, that bad.
My 12 to power.
Yeah, I didn't have any money, so I came down. And I was like, remember, it was done for. My bank was dead. Couldn't call anybody. And I just had to ask someone, and I said, please, then just coming from work, making 200 naira to get to a city. And then I got home, and I got to just keep my eye awake, like, I'm supposed to sleep again. But that was when I realized that, man, Norah, you're your own.
Right.
But then, after that, there are other moments, there are lots of moments that have defined, because of course you start working, you're earning money. So when you start to earn money, responsibilities show up.
Of course.
And responsibility is there, it's handed to you. It's what you now choose to do with it that matters.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So responsibilities come up, you have to take care of your family, a lot of things, choices you need to make regarding your life, your next decision you're making. So that gradually shaped how I, took on responsibilities and how I, how it helped me build myself as a person. Because again, if you have responsibilities and you're able to manage it well, especially when things are folding, life will throw different things at you, loss, betrayal, friendships, relationships, break up, different things. But it's how you choose to get up, right? Just get up and then just keep moving forward, really. So at the end of the day, to keep moving, yeah.
So we can actually say that was your first adult responsibility that pushed you to get off.
Yeah, life pushed you. Yeah. A couple of others, but yeah,
Bills,
one was
works,
Oh yes,
family, relationships, all of those things. Wow. Okay, so looking back now, do you think life forced you to mature, or you did that consciously?
Trust me, I think that life didn't force me to mature.
Okay.
I had to. It was a choice.
Okay.
I had to make that choice. It's something I kept choosing because, as I said, responsibilities will come at you, but it's how you choose to handle it that matters. And if you're not, that maturity thing is, you can just decide that this is happening, money comes into my account, and then I just use it. It's a choice.
True.
You then decide to be mature about it and take ownership of, your current situation. You clearly have to take care of your bills, your family, and all that. But if you choose to squander the money, that's a choice. That's maturity is a good choice, and you have to keep choosing it every day. It's like your morning after pill.
Mm-hmm.
If you do something and then the next morning, if you don't want to take it, you carry belly.
That's on you.
Shows that's on you. So maturity is a choice. So you need to keep choosing it every day. Yeah.
Sounds great, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So, is there something you blame your parents, teacher, friends for when you were younger that you now realize that it's your responsibility?
Honestly, no. I've had the most amazing childhood.
Okay.
I had a very strong support system, friends, thoroughly. So I think that along the way, of course, I made some money choices.
Okay.
But that was on me. On you. I've been handed over. This is you. We're giving you good education.
Okay.
That good education has helped you to get out there, get a job. What you choose to do with that responsibility handed you is on you.
Right.
So I wouldn't blame anybody. Do you understand? Like, there's been fallouts along the way, like in terms of decisions I've made, things that I've done, and not bad things per se, but some funny decisions that will just change the trajectory of your, of your life. But of course, I have to take accountability. I have to keep up my pieces and keep moving. So yeah, I think that, I don't have anybody to live for it.
Well, I think I do. I think I do have my teachers to blame because while in school, primary school or secondary school, they made us feel like this secondary school is the best thing that can happen to your life. And if you get out there, you don't know anything here, and you get out there, your life will be miserable, a lot of that. Yeah. So I think that depends on the school we attended here. So those guys there, they really messed up with our head. And so when we got to school, some of us were not so like sharp when we were in secondary school. So when we got to school, we're thinking, oh, I don't think I can actually do this because they already told me before that after secondary school, if you can't make it there, you can't make it outside that year. So I think I blame them for that, but thank God I picked myself up. Okay, that's it. Thank you. So
where you are now, actually.
Thank you. So we are going to go deep into accountability, like accountability in real life.
Okay.
So is there an area of your life where accountability still doesn't come naturally? Maybe money, relationships, your emotions, career, or something else?
Well, honestly, accountability is a choice. Again, money, emotions. Regarding money, let's take accountability for your finances. What you choose to do with your money, how you choose to manage it, is you taking accountability for it.
Yeah.
For emotions, take accountability for emotions too. Although emotions are a bit sensitive because you can either choose to suck it up and just keep moving. But inside, behind closed doors, you break down. So I don't fault people who don't take accountability of emotions because, but again, emotions they vary. There's anger.
Yeah.
There's heartbreak. Yeah. There's sadness. There's, but I wouldn't blame people because emotions it's deep enough. Yeah, but in terms of tangibles, the money, the career, because again, you can decide to, I don't have any fallback. I want to leave this job and I'm resigning.
Yeah.
But deep down that you don't have any means to take care of yourself. You just say, God provide. And then you now resign. And then you now go sit at home and you be like, how good I should have. Good. So again, that is you taking account. So if you now realize that happened,
okay,
you sit down and reflect. Okay, maybe I should have done this better, because everybody would actually do that and say, it's not my fault anyways. The job was doing this to me, so I decided to just, But if that even actually happens to you,
okay,
you sit down and say, okay, then reflect. This job was not paying me well. It was toxic and whatnot. Now I've left the job. I don't have this all that plan. What do I do next? So that is accountability. Not sitting down and, and crying over what should have been or crying over the problem. What is the next solution? What is your next plan or move? Do you understand? Don't just keep pining. Accountability is you taking ownership of the fact that, you stayed. Yeah. What's my next plan? And then you pick yourself up and you move. And that's how successful people actually are born.
Yeah, sure.
And not born per se like Benel. Born in terms of like you're reborn.
Yeah, sure, I know.
Because you have people that have failed. I mean, of course you do them. I can't remember their name. But a lot of successful people that actually failed. But they rebirthed themselves because they took accountability of their current situation.
Yeah.
And they figured out the next steps. And then they're thriving.
Yeah. That's great anyways. But failure that hand. I think I've made so many mistakes, I can't say. So after school, I kind of got a job, and I don't want to say that, but let me see. So I gave out my job to someone else. I'm going to say for love's sake anyways. So I gave out my job to someone else, and I became jobless while he was working.
Okay.
And my emotions. So when he got the job, it changed. Yes, he wasn't that person he was anymore. Yes, and it changed. When I didn't have a job, I tried, I didn't get the job. So I just had to tell myself, girl, you have to do something. You just don't want to think there. So I told myself, I think I need to learn how to do something. Mm-hmm. Then I went to learn how to bake cake. Okay. And I learned from somebody we graduated together. That girl would tell me to fetch water, sweep the floor. I would do it because I really wanted something for myself. Yeah. So I was doing it for myself then. It was when that I changed totally that I discovered that, I'm all alone. Yeah. And I just had to take responsibility at that point because in my head, I was thinking, oh, maybe when he gets a job, or it'll be better. And yeah, maybe I'll get another job too. But yeah, I messed up. But that's that.
No, you didn't mess up. Don't say that you messed up.
Okay.
Say it outside. You didn't mess up. Something happened. You, out of the goodness of your heart,
It's okay.
you, of course, gave someone a job. You took, you actually, what's the word? You took a bullet for someone.
Yeah.
And then you realize that, oh, this person was not coming first. And then you actually realize that you needed to, you're your own.
Yeah.
Because you might have actually served in your house for 5 years and still kept pining about the fact that you would have been, I'm thinking, this boy is misbehaving. And you forget about the fact that you have to think about yourself.
Yeah,
So
myself.
people like that will sit down and pine. I'm like, this guy. Forgetting that you always is on you to actually pick yourself back up.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to move on. Life goes on with or without the person.
Exactly.
Fine. So that's it, though.
Mhm.
So when was the last time you had to choose between protecting your ego and taking accountability?
There are a lot of times, to be honest. Earlier on in my career, I became a leader. I was all about protecting my ego, to be honest.
Okay.
But as time grew by, I learned how to take accountability, especially because I managed a large team.
Okay.
I used to manage a large team, and then it was a case of, oh, somebody did something, and I'm just being defensive. But I think in the last 2 years, I've actually learned how to take accountability for the actions that have already happened.
Okay.
Whether I did that or my team members did it. I take accountability. I sit down, take constructive feedback,
Okay.
and understand, from my own end, reflect on it. Why did this happen? Why did I let this happen?
Okay.
Why should this thing not happen again? What are the steps I'm going to take to ensure that this does not happen again?
Yeah.
And then I address myself reflectively, and then address team members as well. So I'm basically learning and, carrying my team members along and ensuring that everybody's aligned. So that, because again, if I'm growing and my team members are not growing, there's no growth in that team.
Yeah, true.
You understand? So yeah,
Sure.
I've so far so good. I've held on to being accountable for my actions, whether good or bad.
Okay. So are you going to say that accountability is leaving over ego or over the years?
For me,
Yeah.
generally,
Over the years for you?
I think accountability, to be honest, it has helped me a lot.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's great though. So why do you think people find it easier to point fingers in a relationship than admit who is wrong?
Again, accountability.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people don't like to take responsibility for anything.
Yeah.
We just feel, oh, they're to blame. Oh, this, that. And then you're just sitting down there and not. And then, they now call 5 years later and say, oh, I'm such a failure. You're not a failure. You had a choice to pick yourself up. You had a choice to change that whole situation. You had a choice. If someone says, oh, relationship failed, of course, I've been in failed relationship before. And at some point, that's only one. You're tying on. I mean, again, you can grieve, and relationship, when you leave relationships, you're grieving them. It is death grief and relationship grief.
Yeah, sure.
You grieve someone who you don't see anyone. You grieve and miss someone at the same time. Sorry. So again, the onus is on you to just put it behind you. Yes, in your private time, you might actually grieve the person, like grieve the relationship and all that, but you have to try as much as possible. Even if the person broke up with you because they found someone else, you're probably not better. You're not good for him. That's what he.
Yeah, sure.
You might not be good for him, but there's someone you might be good for.
Should definitely.
You guess. And there's one thing I tell people, and me, I'm trying to apply it to my own life too. You might date someone, you might start dating someone, but if the person doesn't have the capacity to love you, don't force the person.
Mm-hmm.
So when you don't have the capacity to love others, like I've been in a relationship now, and 2 years later, the person doesn't have the capacity to love you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's a natural thing, and you don't have to. The people will start, crying and showing tantrums and whatnot.
Yeah.
I've come to realize that the person just doesn't have the capacity to love you the way you want to.
You want exactly the way you
understand
it. Yeah.
And if you walk away from that situation, well, you just stay there. Maybe possibly explore your options, Yeah, but most times just walk away.
Because staying there might be
Staying there might just be
a lot. Person might be so
really a lot. Exactly. So when you don't force that person, because you really love the person and the person is not loving you the way you deserve to be loved, just need to walk away.
That's right, actually. So what would you say the difference, what would you say is the difference between apologizing when you're sorry and apologizing just to keep this, to cleanse up the space where
There's a difference in being unsure as where you're sorry. When you're sorry, again, you can apologize and say when you're sorry and you're still not apologizing, you're still apologizing at this level.
you're still not sorry?
Yeah, you're still not sorry. So I think it depends on the individual, to be honest. Because if I do something wrong, I will genuinely apologize and try not to do that thing again. But if you apologize because, I just want to make the peace, but you still do that thing again, so like sorry to argue, and that's the difference.
I'm sorry, so
Still do it again. Say sorry. You actually haven't apologized.
the actions are saying,
And that's taking accountability.
yeah, true. So as someone who leads people, what's the biggest difference you've noticed between people who grow consistently and those who remain stuck?
Okay. So for those who go consistently, they take feedback well.
Okay.
For those who remain stuck, you're just stuck in that rut because you don't take feedback well, and you blame the system
For your own mistake.
your own mistake.
Right.
You do not take responsibility for your actions. If for those who grow, they take feedback, they go back and sit down to reflect on what they could have done better, on how they can make it better.
Sure.
But for those who remain stuck, the first thing before they even start talking, but I think I should have, but I think that I should have, but I think that, but it does bring defensive.
So then get to
For listen, exactly. You fault the system, you fault the person. Listen before you respond. And then if there is a part of the conversation where you feel like they're faulting you wrongly, if listen, and then you can now, tell them, okay, this is what I'm going to do better. And then not say, but I think that I kind of like did this, but they just go and sit.
Yeah.
Do you understand? They just remain in that roles because you're not going to take proactive steps to improve. You're going to take proactive steps to figure out why what happened. Do you understand? How can I do this better? How can I move on? How can I not make this mistake anymore? How can I lead people better? That kind of thing. So for those that grow, you actually take feedback, you apply it, on the job or what it is that you're giving feedback to, and you grow. They don't remain where they are.
I think that's up to do anyways. Take feedback helps a whole lot. If you don't take feedback, I don't know what you learned, darling.
Exactly.
So that's fine. So I think we should just go straight to growth and ownership. I know we've spoken a little bit about ownership, but we can still go deep into it. So what's one promise you've kept to yourself this year that made you feel like you're truly born? Like, yeah, Laurel, I'm there.
To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it's actually accountability.
Okay.
Because I think I told the previous years, accountability was an issue for me. I was pretty much always defensive. When there is a problem, I'm always like, I think I'm you get sometimes I might take the feedback, but I won't apply it immediately. So that has actually helped me because this year I got some good feedback, maybe from line managers or from it's a growth, it's a work in progress. I wouldn't say I have completely, I'm there, but I'm getting there. But I know that they're taking steps to ensure that I take exceptional accountability for my actions, my personal life, everything I put my hand, I put my hand to. But yeah, I've taken steps to ensure that I keep growing and I keep improving on the things that, I have my shortcomings on.
That's great. So we know that maturity isn't just about never failing. It's about what you do after you failed. So can you share a recent failure experience that you took ownership of and what it taught you?
Okay, this is, I think work.
Again, work related.
Yeah, something happened. Of course, it was a backlash. It didn't seem like it was my fault.
Okay.
But, I'm managing, that person.
Okay.
But either secondarily, I'm kind of like to blame, but primarily not.
It's not your fault.
But again, I have to take ownership because it's my team.
Okay.
It's still on me. And I had to figure out exactly what went wrong. What did I miss? What did I not put my eye on to? Is there something I'm missing? Is there something I'm not paying attention to?
Yeah.
Am I paying more attention to my team members? Do I need to, be more, do I need to apply myself, get more involved? what exactly did I miss? So I had to do self-reflection and figure out exactly what I can do to, what I need to do to improve and be better. But yeah, I did that, and well, it worked, I guess.
Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, so is there something that you had to forgive yourself for before you could actually take full responsibility?
Well, yes, a lot of things, a lot of things, because as you grow, there are a lot of silly choices you make. Finances,
Sure.
Even your next decision, your next best decision that feels like it's your best decision, but it's actually a very, very crass decision.
This is true.
So you make those decisions and you're like, Jesus, what did I do to So
Okay.
a lot of things I've had to forgive myself for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay. We're all growing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if your younger version or your younger self could be watching this show right now, what would you say, or how would you have taught them on how to handle problems? Or what do you think they should be proud of?
First of all, how to handle problems. Don't understand the problem.
Okay.
Understand. Don't just jump in to respond.
Okay.
Before a problem comes, if you have to resolve the problem, you need to understand what goes like on your customer service. When I'm bringing this up, the customer reaches out to you and you just need to respond. You need to understand what the customer is saying.
Yeah.
Two customers can report about the same issue, but they're saying, but they have different
Different perspectives. Yeah.
And they need to read to understand what the customer is actually complaining about. So, to solve a problem, you need to understand the problem, understand the roots of the problem, identify it, and then now take steps to address the problem.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Okay.
What was your second question?
Okay, so I said, what do you think they should be proud of? That is, if your young version is
But again, again, proud of growth, because if you're taking steps to, be a better person, of course, you've mapped out the steps you're going to take to ensure that, you achieve those goals. So, of course, you have a timeline, you have a checklist. You should be proud of the growth that you've made so far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you, everyone, for watching today's episode of Love and Life podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe for more interesting episodes. See you again next time. Bye.